Hi there, I'm Cher, and this is Diary of a Pen Nerd. So, a couple of weeks ago, I went on a trip. I went to Brussels, Belgium, and Paris, France. And I had a wonderful time. I was there with a school group, and we were looking at the Holocaust and the deportation in Belgium and France, and I learned so much and I have so much to think about. But while I was there, I did a little bit of shopping. So this is just like everything that I got in on my trip. So we can start off with something that is actually too big to fit on my little desk here, and that is I got a picture book. Oh, okay. It is like literally too big to fit on the desk. Here, we'll zoom out a little bit. Expose how messy my desk is. There we go. It is in French. I don't speak French. I'm sure that won't be a problem. And it is La Dame à la Licorne, or The Lady and the Unicorn. I love unicorns. I love all of the unicorn tapestries. I got to see the Lady and the Unicorn tapestries at the Musée de Cluny in Paris, and it was a life-changing experience. But this was actually at a random bookstore that I ran into by or close to the Père Lachaise cemetery, because it was raining, and so I just ran into this little bookstore. Wasn't planning on getting anything, but I saw this and I flipped through it and I knew that it had to come home with me. It is just like gorgeous illustrations, and the story references both the, as far as I can tell, both the unicorn tapestries, The Hunt of the Unicorn, as well as The Lady and the Unicorn. For example, if I can find the right page, like this is The Lady and the Unicorn. You know, this is from the now I'm blanking on the name, like the Hearing tapestry. This is from the Sight tapestry. And then in the back of the book, it like gives a little explainer about the unicorn tapestries and tells you a little bit more about them and how they influenced the book. And again, I don't speak French. Oh no. But I really loved this book. And then when I went to the Musée de Cluny later, which The Lady and the Unicorn is one of the big focuses, they had this book there at the gift shop, but in English. But I think having it in French is so cute. So that was the first. And now to everything else. While I was in Paris, I obviously had to go to Sennelier, which is the oldest art shop in Paris. I forget when exactly it opened, but it is so cute and tiny, and I could have dropped some very serious coin in there, but I restrained myself because I kind of knew about what I was looking to get, and I was looking to get ink because when I went to Germany I got a Jacques Herbin ink, and I know that it's not like specific to you know, Europe. It's something that I could get here too pretty fairly easy. It just feels special to have this ink be that I've gotten it abroad. So the first bottle of ink that I got, and this is the color that I knew I wanted to look for, and that is Lis de Tay, which is a dark brown. And then I was looking for the 30 milliliter bottles, but they didn't have them. They only had 10 milliliters of this like standard line here. And I could have gotten several of these, but again, I was restraining myself. But I also got Emerald of Chivor, which I think this ink is probably like a classic. Like everyone has heard of Emerald of Chivor. It's on some list somewhere of like best shining inks or best selling inks, or I just feel like this ink is everywhere. But Emerald of Chivor, I've actually swatched both of these on my Tomoe River paper, and then was copying out the like information or history of the brand to give myself like a written swatch. And I really like both of these inks. I think they're very gorgeous, and both colors that I'll really like. So I am excited to have added both of these to my collection, and from what better place than the oldest art store in Paris. At Sennelier, the only other thing I got was this paintbrush, which they said was used in, or is used for like Chinese watercolor, which is very interesting, and I'm excited to get to put this to use as well. And then moving right along, I went to the Palace of Versailles because I only have normal feelings about Marie Antoinette. That's what everyone would say. So obviously I had to go to the Palace of Versailles, and when I was there I saw this notebook, which is this pastel pink, and it's got this the Palace of Versailles like logo embossed in gold on it, and the name and sign on the back as well. Very, very pretty. This like textured, reminiscent of handmade, I actually don't know if it's handmade, paper, with the rough edges and the visible binding. I just think it's so cute. So I did get this, and then later when I went to the Musée de Cluny, I didn't mean to get this, but I ended up with it anyways. I have another one of these same, it's like the same little notebook. It's got a different color binding, but again, the rough edges, this kind of paper, and it has irises and a snail on the front. So this one is also very pretty. I'm not sure that I'll use both of these as journals strictly. I think that it could also be fun to use it as like a sketchbook, or the other thing that I was thinking of is a recipe journal. which is something that I have been meaning to start. So I got 2 notebooks / journals, and then the last thing that I have to show you is just random postcards. I didn't get as many postcards as I could have, and looking back, I think I wish I had gotten maybe a few more, but just because they're so fun and inexpensive, and I'm going to put these on my wall most likely. This one is one that I got at that same little bookstore that I got my picture book at, and it is The Female Painter, and that's the name of the piece. But this one is just a woman painting in what looks like a beautiful grassy meadow, trees on a sunny day. And then at the Musée de Cluny, I got a couple postcards with unicorns on them from the unicorn tapestries. This is not a tapestry that they had on display, but is just also a fairly common or famous unicorn in a tapestry. And then this is the hearing tapestry from The Lady and the Unicorn. It's a set of 5 for the 5 senses, and then the 6th one, which is My Only Desire. So this is one of the 5 for the senses, and it is hearing. And then I also got this, which is a sketch of a woman and the unicorn that they also had on display there. I don't know if this is part of their standard collection or they also have an exhibit on unicorns, or had. I think it might be gone now. Which was just the perfect timing. I love unicorns, and so it felt like they had it there just for me when I was gonna be there. So yeah, I had a wonderful time. I feel like I learned so much and have so much to think about you know, for how long it's been since the Holocaust and the deportation. Like, how do we be good stewards of history? How do we be good students of history? And what does that really look like? You know, who gets to be, what do we deem important to remember? Who gets to be remembered? What are the mechanisms of memory and of memorial? And so I had a really good time. I could probably make a whole video just on like what I learned, and I might, now that I'm thinking about it. But that was everything that I got while I was away and having the time of my life. But that is all that I have for you today. So thank you so much for tuning in to another transmission, and I hope you enjoyed. You can go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you want to stick around, and I will have the next chapter of my story out soon. Bye for now. Love, share.